Hey there, Jack here, and it's time to answer another question of the day. This time the question again came from our Facebook group. Forever Cash is the name of the Facebook group, or My Open Path Forever Cash. Go search for either one of those terms, and you will find the group Forever Cash. Feel free to apply for membership. Just have to answer a couple of questions, and then I'll let you in. And the question that I wanted to ask today was asked by one of our people in that group. Was how do you, where was it here? I just wrote it down. What's the average cost to buy a property was the question. What's the average cost to buy a property? Well, here's the thing. Let's look at the different pieces and let's also put it into context of the bigger world. So here's the thing. Let's put the context out first. And I mentioned it in other videos. I love that example. If you're buying today a McDonald's franchise, it costs between $1 and $3 million. If you're buying a Subway franchise, it costs about $250,000 to $400,000. Even if you buy like eBay used to sell, or somebody used to sell some eBay drop-off franchises at $50,000 a piece. Right, and that's not even including the store build out and things like that. So let's put that's option one. Option two is you go into house flipping. The average house flipper spends about 7,000 to 10,000 mail pieces to get a house that they can wholesale. Right, now that means that your average cost of doing that, of acquiring a property, is somewhere in the $3,000 to $5,000 range to get a deal. And then their margin on those deals is about $10,000. So they're netting like $5,000 to $7,000 on these deals. Just to put into context, that's a true reality. I belong to a mastermind. I've personally done over 4,000 real estate deals with my wife, of course, my partner and our business team. Couldn't do it alone, of course. My team did a lot of that. And we have... And I belong to a mastermind of house flippers, even though I'm not a house flipper. We actually do land flipping. We do real estate without houses. We do exactly the same thing that people do in the housing world, just that we flip land. And the nice part is we can actually make land cash flow. Have you ever heard that? People say land doesn't cash flow. I'll show you, if you watch some of the other videos here, then you can see how land absolutely can cash flow. And but anyway, so the houses guys, I know that firsthand from guys that do 100, 200, 300 deals. They know they're spending about $3,000 to $5,000 to get a house under contract. Crazy. And then on the selling side, they have to still pay often a realtor, unless they're wholesalers and selling to other guys. They still have to pay some closing costs. So they're making, like, if they're really good, 10 grand a deal. Most people I know make 5 to 7 grand on a wholesale deal. Now, it doesn't mean that every once in a while they come across something where they make 20, 30, but on average they make 5 to 7. So now let's look at what we do. We do real estate without houses. Land flipping, lot flipping. Our technique allows you to buy pieces of land for 5 to 25 cents on the dollar. Literally buy a $30,000 property for $3,000, sell it for $15,000, either cash or with a $5,000 down payment and $300 a month for the next 7 years cash flow. Right? In our world, our average cost of purchasing consists of the following. It consists of the mailing cost, because we do use direct mail, but we only, on average, and you want to watch some of the other videos where I talk about the large numbers, the averaging, the sample size, and so on average, for every 300 to 500 letters that we send out, we get one deal. So therefore, 300 to 500 letters, let's say 400, and each letter costs 50 cents, 60 cents, we're basically, say, $250 in mailing cost gets us one deal. So you heard that. Houses, $5,000. Land, $250. So $250 gets us one deal on average. Now, if you're going into the higher priced area, the numbers might stage slightly. So perhaps it ends up costing you $400 or $500 to get a deal. But also your margins go up. Instead of making $5,000 to $10,000, you make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on the deal. But I'd say, let's keep it at like the middle level. Let's say $300 is the cost of the mailing. All right. Secondly, what else is there? Well, there's cost of marketing, because you don't actually have to buy the property. You can do a double closing. You can get an option for it. You can do an assignment. So there's no money necessary to actually buy the property. That's the same in the housing world. You can do the same thing the same way. And then when you're selling it, you typically don't engage a realtor. You just go on the open market, find a buyer, and then you might do title insurance costs. And the title insurance cost, if you do it smartly, can actually be absorbed by the buyer. But even if you have to pay for half of that, let's say that costs you another $500. Then on top of it, there might be some subscriptions that you have to have for like a software system to manage your deals. like the investmentdominator.com, or other different pieces, subscriptions where you put your properties on there. It might cost $20, $30, $50 a month and so on. And so your overall overhead might be $300, $400 a month, or perhaps $500 a month. Your mailing cost might be another $300, $400 a month for every deal. So let's say if you only do one deal a month, you have $900 in cost. But on your average deal, if you do it the way that I recommend to do it, your margin should be at least $5,000, but usually more like in the $7,000 to $10,000, so even slightly above the house wholesaling deals. And if you want to focus on higher price properties, you can do that too. We have lots of students. I have one student, John is his name, who has done in his first 9 months, he's done 25 deals, I believe 25 deals. In his first 15 months, he's done 25 deals at $25,000 a deal. Right? At $25,000 a deal, all wholesale deals without any rehab, without any touching, because we're dealing with land and lots. So your cost per deal is, your true actual deal cost is perhaps $300 to get the deal, perhaps another $500 to sell it, so it's about $800, and you're making about $5,000 to $15,000 is kind of the average margin on the deal. So it's basically better margins than on houses, with a tenth or less than a tenth of the cost to acquire the deal. All right, I hope that answers your question. Again, it looks like a no-brainer. Do you want to go into high competition houses? And by the way, all of that without much competition. So we want to focus on the houses where you have to fight all this competition that drives your cost high, or do you want to go into the lot and land area where you on top of it can sell these properties such that you get all the money that you buy it for back when you sell it, and then you get cash flow from it. And that's actually the subject of another video I'm going to do very shortly. All right, thank you.